Outside Ghana. Guest thematic speaker, Professor Kelvin Ononga, Adventist University of Africa, Kenya. Devotional speaker, Pastor Kusi Apia, Valley View University, Techiman Campus. Seminar speakers, Dr. Mrs. Teresa Adai Mononkum, Senior Lecturer, College of Humanities and Legal Studies, University of Cape Coast. Dr. Josiah Ando, Head of Theology Department, Regent University. Dr. Pascal Brenya, CEO, Focus Central Ghana. Elder Edward Nkansa, Economist and Consultant, Ministry of Finance. Pastor Ebenezer Quay, Senior Lecturer, Department of Theological Studies, Valley View University, OEB Campus. This event will be streaming live on Hope TV Ghana, Hope TV Ghana Facebook page, NAS National Facebook page, NAS YouTube channel, and Voice of Hope Online Radio. For further inquiries, please contact 0264 172 704. or 0501-427-069 or 0246-784-296. Be a part of this and be blessed. The Adventist Student, a builder for Christ.
Wonderful people of God, it's a lovely day and we thank God for such. We want to welcome you once again to the virtual 38th Ghana National Association of Adventist Students Congress 2020 and to the second day of our seminars. Yesterday we were blessed with the man of God, Pastor Ebenezer Quay, who came away with the topic, Knowing the Light. And today by God's grace we have a wonderful woman here with us, Dr. Mrs. Teresa Adai Mononkum, who will speak to us on the topic unearthing our potentials and professionalism. After she has spoken, we'll have an interactive session where viewers can send in their questions and contributions to the number 0559 680066. 0559 680066. Even as the session is ongoing, you can still send in your questions and your contributions. I believe you will be edified. I'm Lydia Kwe, your host. Stay tuned.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our program. I'm very happy to be here with you this afternoon as we try to see or discuss what we can do as Seventh-day Adventist young professional to reach the heights that God has destined for us. What is God's ideal for us? Many Christians think that God does not want us to be the best, that all God is interested in is that we finish school, we have a job, and we raise a family, and we are able to contribute to the church and the growth of our nation. But is that all that God has in store for us? Is that all that God wants us to do? Let's turn to what Ellen White said in her book, Education. Ellen White said that the greatest want of the world is the want of men, men who will not be bought or sold, men who in their inmost souls are true and honest, men who do not fear to call sin by its right name, men whose conscience is as true to duty as the needle to the pole, men who stand for the right though the heavens fall. How do we become such men that the world needs? And that is what God wants us to do. God wants us to be these kind of men that the world needs. And that is why Ellen White says that higher than the highest human mind can reach is God's ideal for his children. Higher than the highest human mind can reach is God's ideal for his children. That is what God expects of us, to reach the highest we can reach in whatever endeavor we are undertaking, and especially in our chosen profession, to reach the topmost ladder of life. How do we meet the needs of the world? The youth need to be impressed with the truth that their endowments are not their own. Our strength, our time, our intellect are things that have been given to us for a while, for the edification and the upliftment of our nation. Our family first most, and then our nation. And so for us as Adventist young men and women, We are called to be stewards of these things that God has given us and to use them to illuminate the darkness of the world. How do we do this? This is not something that will sit in our rooms and pray and then God will endow us with them. No, it needs self-discipline and hard work for us to be able to be the men and women who will meet the needs of our world. Who are you? You need to ask yourself that question. Who are you? Where do you want to be? Do you believe that where you are is where you want to be? Is that the ultimate in your life? Have you achieved all that you set out to achieve? In your professional journey, have you reached the end of the journey? Or do you think you have arrived at the end of the journey? So many people think that it's just enough. I have finished my teacher training education. I have my degree in teaching. I have finished my first degree. I have finished my apprenticeship. I've gotten a job. I am okay. Are you sure you are okay? Is that where you can be? You need to know yourself to know whether you have reached the limits of your abilities. It's like blowing air into a balloon. Sometimes you think that the balloon is too small, so you blow in a little air, the balloon is becoming enlarged. But you realize that if you blow in more air, the bigger the balloon gets. So ask yourself, if I had stopped at the beginning, when I blew in just a little bit of air, would that balloon have reached its full potential? And that is the same with us as Seventh-day Adventist Christian and potentials. We need to set goals that will stretch us. There is much more that you can do than what you are doing now. But until you set goals that will stretch you, until you determine that I want to be the best, I want to move forward and achieve the ultimate in my field, you can never know the extent of what you can do. Somebody may ask, how do I do this? The first thing is to know yourself. Know yourself. When God called Moses to go and lead the Israelites out of Egypt, Moses was scared. Why me, God? What do I have? I have nothing. And in Exodus chapter 4, verse 2 to 3, God asked Moses, Moses, what do you have in your hand? What do you have in your hand? And Moses said, just a rod. And God used that rod to wrought miracles in the life of the Israelites, all through their journey through to the promised land. This afternoon, I'm asking you, what do you have in your hands? What do you have? You have your dreams. Without dreams, we die. Dreams are the essence of life. When I talk about dreams, I'm not talking about the things that happen to us when we sleep. I'm talking about the things you see when you are awake. When you look at yourself, in 2 years from now, where do I want to be? If I tell you to close your eyes and imagine yourself 10 years from now, just spend a few seconds, close your eyes, imagine yourself 10 years from now, where do you want to be? That vision you see is your dream. The dreams that we have, they are the force that will propel us to reach our potential and to enhance our professionalism. You have your certificates. Could be your basic school living certificate, your senior high school certificate, your first degree, your first diploma, whatever certificates you have, those are the springboards from which you launch yourself into higher heights. So it's important to have certificates. You cannot begin the journey of life without a certificate. And so if you are relaxed, comfy, in a little corner that you find yourself, and you think, oh, I have achieved all that I need to achieve, I don't need anything more, you are lying to yourself. And you are denying the use of your God-given talents. You have your abilities, the things you can do, the things nobody taught you. Some people can sing very well. They've never been to any music school. Some people can teach music very well. They've never been taught. Some people are good organizers in their churches, in their little communities. When there's a program, everybody mentions their name. They are good organizers. That is an ability God has given you. You have your talents, the talents that you were born with. You need to encourage these things in you so you can use them to the glory of the Lord. Do not demean any little thing that you can do. Cherish it, polish it. The more you use it, the more you would add onto it. And so if you can sing and sing very well, how about learning how to conduct a choir? How about learning how to play a musical instrument? That is how you develop your talent and your abilities. And that is how you develop your potential. Before you realize, you become a well-known musician and everybody will be mentioning your name. You have achieved your profession and you have reached the height of where God wants you to be. Many a times we go to our churches, we see young men and women who can do things for the Lord. You see little boys and girls, very active, very eloquent. They can teach the Sabbath school. Over time, you ask of them, you don't find them anymore. Or even if they are in the church, they've gotten married, they've had 2 or 3 kids, they think that is all. Oh, I'm taking care of my kids, oh, their children. And you bury that talent. You know what happened to the gentleman who buried his talents? Learn to use your talent. What do you have in your hands? I would like us to look at 3 basic things that we can do to promote our potential and our professionalism. The first is to avoid the forever here my rest shall be mentality. Avoid mediocrity. As I said earlier, some of us are content with where we are. We think that we have arrived. I have finished my nursing training college. I've been employed as a nurse. I'm working as a nurse in the hospital. I am married. By God's grace, I've bought myself a little Fiat that I drive to work. I go to church, I pay my tithes. What more is there? Forever here my rest shall be mediocrity. You can do more. You can go ahead and achieve greater heights. Where you are is okay, but it is not better. If you are an assistant director, an assistant matron, it means there's more you can do. Your work title even indicates that there is more that you need to do. So avoid mediocrity. Second, have the eagle mindset. The eagle mindset. What is the eagle mindset? Let's briefly look at what we mean by the eagle mindset. The eagle stands for strength, courage, determination, and success. Strength, courage, determination, and success. Some of us have the strength, but we lack determination. We can't decide on what it is that we want to do. So we plan today, I'm going to make sure I rewrite my SSC maths exam. We start classes. Somewhere along the line, we get tired and we give up. You are not determined enough. You must be like the eagle. Determination will lead to success. To be like the eagle, be unique. Be unique. There is nothing wrong in being different. Many of us like to follow the crowd. Many of us like to do what everybody else is doing. We don't want to stand out. But to be the sort of man that the world needs, the sort of woman that the world and your church needs, you need to be unique to stand out. So that when everybody is moving in direction A, you'll be moving in direction B because you know what you want to achieve. So because you travel and everybody says, oh yeah, in this country, you must, go and do nursing. Do you really want to do nursing? Don't you think you have the skills of being a lawyer? You have the drive of being a lawyer? Move out from the crowd and stand out. Be resilient and mature. That is the eagle for you. Be resilient and mature. Life is not all rosy. When we were young, our parents took care of us. They protected us from the shocks of life. They gave us all we need. But now, you are no longer a child. So the storms of life will buffet you. The storms of life will come at you. You need to be strong and resilient. Like the eagle, The eagle does not fly in the storm like all the birds do and they run for shelter. The eagle flies above the storm. He hasn't got time for petty and low-level drama. Some of us are so involved in little pettiness and little drama that takes our eyes away from our goals and our dreams. And so because my teacher doesn't like me, I'm dropping out of school. Is that your dream? Be resilient and mature. Fly above the problems. Learn to be positive. Avoid the I can't mentality. Even before you begin, you've already discouraged yourself. I can't do it. Hey, how can I get my second degree? No, I can't. It's too tough. I have children to take care of. I have work taking my attention. How can I go for a master's? How can I do a PhD? Immediately you begin with I can't. You cannot. And when you surround yourself with people who are negative, they would encourage you to be negative and not take any action. Be positive. Tell yourself, I can do it, and you will do it. And you will be successful. Surround yourself with people who are positive-minded, people who have achieved things, greatness, in spite of all that they've gone through. And they will be a positive influence upon you. What does Philippians 4:13 tell us? I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So be positive-minded, and you will be victorious. In being like the eagle, you need to be careful and selective. You need to be careful and selective in the choices that you make. And how can you make good choices? By talking to people who have walked the path that you want to walk. You need to talk to people who have walked that path that you want to walk, who would guide you in making the right choices, who would help you and show you this is what you need to do. So, for example, you have finished school, you went to the training college, you've come out as a teacher, a qualified teacher, you've taught for a number of years, you want to further your education. Everybody is doing a master's, M.Ed degree, so you also join the bandwagon, and then you get on, you do an M.Ed, and then when you finish, you are not even interested in teaching anymore. You did not seek counsel. Seeking counsel is very important. Talk to somebody who knows you very well, and let the person help you make the right choices. Avoid discussing everything with everybody. Some of us, we can't take decisions on our own, which is fine. You know, two heads are better than one, as we say. So you'd need someone to help you out in making the right choice. Talk to somebody you respect, somebody who will give you good counsel. Avoid talking to everybody. I'm thinking of doing this. I'm thinking of doing that. And then, you know, you meet Ajwa. You tell Ajwa, I want to do this. And I could say, I want to do this. And everybody is giving you advice. And then people are jealous of your success. And of course, your friend Ajwa has not been able to do what you want to do. So your friend Ajwa will help you not to do what you want to do. And so that you become like your friend Ajwa. And then you stay in your mediocrity life forever. Make better choices that will provide better results for your time. And in all this, you need to trust in God and not man. You need to trust in God and not man. The eagle trusts in his God-given talent. He believes in the power of his wings. God created him like that. So when he's standing on a branch that is about to break, he's not afraid, because he knows that that branch, should it break, his wings will carry him. And the same thing we also need to do, to focus on what God has given us and his promises and his strength that is available for us to do what we need to do. Sometimes it is scary to move out of your comfort zone. You know, as I said, imagine you've finished school, you've gotten a job, you've been able to rent a place of your own, you have your little car, you go to work day in and day out, and then you decide that I'm made for greater things. I think I should go for a second degree. You go and talk to your employers, and they tell you, well, you can go to school, but we'll not support you. Wow. I'm going to rely on my savings to see myself through 3 years of a postgraduate degree. What's going to happen? Who's going to pay my rent? What about the children's school fees? You know, so you're thinking about that, and because you look at the problems all around you, moving out of your comfort zone is difficult. So you decide to stay where you are. You've forgotten your Creator. God says He is with us. So when you make the right decision, He'll provide a way out for you. So trust him that the decision you are making to reach your potential that he's given you, he will be with you every step of the way, and you shall be victorious. Trust God that the wisdom he's given you in your studies, you are going to excel. Sometimes we go to various places of work and we see Adventist professionals and we are even ashamed of them because their behavior is not behavior that indicates that these are people who have hope or trust in God. But remember, we said at the beginning, we need to stand out. We need to be unique. You need to be so different in your workplace such that people will come and they'll ask, who is this person? And they'll say, this is an Adventist Christian. Be focused. The eagle is very focused. He puts his eye, he sets his eye on his prey, and he swoops down from such a high height to come and take his prey. That is the kind of level-headedness we need as Adventist Christians, young men and women. We need to be focused on the prize. What is it that you want to do, that you want to achieve? Focus on it. In 3 years' time, I want to have my master's degree. Focus on it. Work towards it. Everything you are doing should indicate that you are determined to get that master's degree. But more often than not, many of us cannot be focused. We are not determined and focused enough. And so tomorrow, you see our sister, she's selling gari in the markets. 2 days later, our sister is selling kenke. You ask, oh, the gari business is not good. By the end of the year, our sister has engaged in all sorts of activities, all to no avail. If you are not level-headed and well-focused, you cannot be successful in any business endeavor. Many people want quick money, so they move from deal to deal, from business to business, from company to company. You need to be focused on what it is that you want to do. Lastly, I would like to talk about the third thing we can do as we determine to promote and enhance our professionalism. Aspire to be the best. Aspire to be the best. Mediocrity is a sin. Higher than the highest human mind can reach is God's ideal for his children. Mediocrity is a sin. So if, and as Pastor Dimako likes saying, intentional mediocrity, you know that you can reach heights by the grace of God, but you've intentionally decided that you will not do it. So you stay in your little corner. It is a sin. Remember, it is not about competing with others. It's about competing with yourself. You know what you are capable of. You know what you can do if you put your mind to it. But you need to be better. As I stand here before you, let me share a personal testimony with you. When I was in secondary school, I was very weak in mathematics. Very, very weak in mathematics. I remember my highest score, exam score in maths, was 64. And that was when I went to first year. And getting to the end of my year in school, we're thinking about examinations. My mom came to visit me and told me that, Theresa, I had a dream. You had passed the exams, but you failed maths. So you had to go back to reset. That woke me up. And I told myself, there's no way I'm coming back to reset mathematics. And within the 3 months that I had, I worked hard at it. Every spare minute, I was working on the mathematics that I was afraid of. And at the end of the examination, I had passed beyond my teacher's even imagination. My teacher was surprised when he saw my grade B. Those were the days we were dealing with A, B, C, D. I had a B in mathematics. My teachers were surprised. Why? Because I determined that, why am I getting A's in other subjects and not getting a B or an A in maths? I knew I could do it. So aspire to be the best. In whatever field you find yourself, stand out. Work hard, and you will achieve your dreams and be the best person that you can be. So that when Ellen White says, the want of this world is men who are true to themselves, who stand for the truth, you will be counted as one of them. You would be a person who has used his God-given talents to achieve the heights higher than what human mind can think. Thank you very much. And as I leave you, I want you to ponder over this. Ask yourself where you are in the career path you've chosen. Have you just graduated? Have you just gotten a job? Have you just been promoted? How many years do you have to pension? Now, in your chosen field, how many levels of promotion do you have to get through before you reach the highest? So, for example, if you're an assistant lecturer now, you know you need to be a lecturer, senior lecturer, associate professor, and a full professor. So you have all these ranks to go through. Ask yourself, where am I on the ranks of my company or of my chosen profession? How many years will it take me to get to the top? How many years do I have to go on pension? And what am I doing now? And that will give you an indication of whether you are working to achieve your potential or not. Thank you very much and have a wonderful afternoon.
So wherever you are, aspire to be the best. Thank you, Doctor. That was a very lovely and triggering one. We thank you for walking us through the journey to unearthing our potentials and professionalism. So lovely viewers, the interactive session begins shortly. And once again, you can send in your questions and your contributions to the number 0559 680066. 0559 680066. But before that, we'll go on a very short break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Wole senamo ke nibi babao ni Hope TV efe ehawo nikeje amenkule kule wonyongbo jamo ka safo gbajiano to ke nibi kome eyano ojogbang ni ameke amenyeneke bijrone benuele mi ke bofe sani wo fatai keji Hope TV bachu neke nuchumone ne yebuawo bonefio nuele minke ake abasha afole srotoku kewa amenuchimo nyeha ofe woto anoko ni woke ba chu nuchimo le ise boni oba ha nakano abanwo habu
Hope Channel, changing lives.
God has specially given us Hope Channel Ghana to be a special avenue for mission and ministry. I believe you all want to keep Hope Channel on air to come out with spirit-filled, mission-oriented, cutting-edge programs. That is why I would want to encourage all of us to give bountifully, even as they have this fundraiser on the 1st of August. Give bountifully towards this worthy cause. May God richly bless you as you contribute bountifully. Amen.
Hope Channel, changing lives.
US, the interactive session has begun. And once again, you can send in your questions and contributions through the number 0559 680066. 0559 680066. So, Doc, welcome back once again.
Thank you.
And I forgot to tell the viewers, Doc is actually one of my lecturers at the University of Cape Coast UCC, the School of Choice. And so we are glad, and I'm also glad to have her here with me today. And I believe you are also blessed wherever you are with what she has given to us so far. So, Doc, we have some few questions we would want to ask you as we wait for our viewers. I have one I would want to begin with. And so as we continue, or as we are on the journey to unearthing our potentials and professionalism, is it necessary that we have a role model?
Thank you very much, Ajua. Yes, it is very necessary that we have role models or mentors, as we call them. I know that even at the university, when you are first appointed as a lecturer or even an assistant lecturer, you are given a mentor, somebody who would help you navigate the university system, help you know how to organize your teaching, how to get you publishing, how to just help you out in your work. Somebody you can talk to, share ideas with, take advice from. So mentoring, role modeling, very, very important. And as young people, it is our responsibility to make sure that we look at people around us and we pick one who would have a positive influence on our lives. Sometimes we tell them, we can go up to them and tell them, I would like you to be my role model. And the person will then take an active role, an active part in your life, advising you, guiding you. Sometimes too, you can watch them from a distance without even approaching them, and then they serve as role models. But role modeling is very, very important.
Thank you, Doc. And should it always be an adult, or it can be someone of your age?
It can be somebody you are of the same age with, your age group. It depends on what it is that you are role modeling in that person. Sometimes we all have different temperaments. And for example, perhaps you are the type who tends to be a little scatterbrained. There are some people like that. I've heard that the artistic people are like that. They find it a little bit difficult to be organized. But then you have others who are very organized, very, very organized in the way they do things. They plan. So right after my first degree, I'll do national service, and then I'll go work in this company or work for about 2 years, and then I'll come back. And you look at that person, he or she is a mate, but you marvel at the way this person has got her life so well organized. You are not like that. You are in level 400 and still you don't even know what you want to do with yourself. You are just going with, well, yeah, we'll do national service. After national service, we'll see. So this is somebody who you can role model to see how, let me learn something from this person, because that's actually the main aim of having a role model, learning something from that person.
Thank you, Doctor. And so we have a question from Daniel Oseyamankwa from Sunyane. He says, good afternoon and God bless you for such a wonderful lecture. You touched on the need to develop and nurture our God-given talents and endowments as Christian youths. What has been the church's role over the years in nurturing the endowments of young people? Are there really such opportunities in our church office?
Thank you very much for that question. I've been a Seventh-day Adventist for over 30 years now. Yes, I wasn't born a Seventh-day Adventist. I came in when I was young. And I will say emphatically that, yes, the church has a mentoring capacity, or the church does mentoring. If I use myself as an example, when I was a young person in the church, because of my mother's, the nature of my mother's work, she wasn't as active in the church initially. Okay. Yeah, she was a nurse and she was transferred all over the country. We were staying put in one place, so I was very active in the church. And I joined the Adventist Youth Society. I was a very active member in the Adventist Youth Society. And our elders, in those days, they were not elders then, no, we called them brothers. Okay. I don't know if you came to meet that tradition, no. Where an elderly person in the church was referred to as a brother. So we had Brother Solo, Brother Marfo. Now Brother Marfo is Professor Marfo, okay, at University of Cape Coast, and Brother Solo is now Elder Solomon Mensah. And they nurtured us, they mentored us. They took active interest in our education, in our lives in the church, and I will say that for me, they were my role models. And it wasn't just for me. I can name a whole lot of other young men then who they nurtured and mentored. So growing up in the church, I would say they were more of fathers to us than even our real fathers, because they were very, very active in guiding us and leading us to where we are today.
Thank you, Doctor. So there are many opportunities in the church for us.
Yes.
And we can all make good use of that. And so there's another question from Andrew Kwejo Asiedu from GNAAS KNUST. He says, what then do we do if several people
tell the person, this is it, I think I want to be a musician, but people are saying I can be a teacher, what do you think? And that person can guide you. And then also, we shouldn't forget that you can be both. Okay. Yes, there's no law that says you can be one thing at a time. You can be both. Okay. Yes. Okay.
Thank you. And so please, in relation to what you just said, you can be both. So say I'm a medical student, but I also have passion for sewing, braiding and other stuff. is there not the temptation that I might have my focus shifted from my main aim, that is the medicine, to those other things that might be my lesser goals?
Okay. So, as I said, you need to pick one of all the things that you can do. So you, as you said, you are a medical student, you want to pursue medicine, and at the same time, you want to pursue your passion for fashion. Now, you need to ask yourself, of these two things, which one takes my time more? Which one is demanding? Is more demanding than the other? Which one involves strenuous training? And you notice that medicine is going to take a lot of your time. So perhaps, why don't I concentrate on getting my medical degree, and then when I'm established, then I can pursue my passion for fashion? Because you notice that medical school will pass away. Yeah. Yes, there's a time limit to medical school, but there's no time limit to fashion. So perhaps I'll get my medical certificate in my suitcase, and then I'll pursue the other interest. So you need to have a good sense of balance in achieving all these two.
Thanks, Doctor. That has actually answered a question I have had in mind for so long. God bless you. Okay, so someone is saying, I think we have another message here. It says, brilliant presentation by Dr. Ade Mununkum. How do change, I don't know what the person actually means, but how do change a career path? I think the person is trying to say, how do you change a career path when you develop an interest without venturing into it and failing? So you went into a career path, a career, and then you failed. How do you change it? I think that's what the person is trying to ask.
Yeah. I think that, as we said, we need to be flexible. If I didn't mention that, I'm adding it. You need to be flexible in whatever decision we take, whatever it is that we want to do, especially when it comes to choosing a career. We need to be flexible. Okay. And so I decided I want to do nursing. Yes, for whatever reason, maybe I have an interest, I have a passion for it. I go to the nursing training college. I take the exams, I fail. I take the exams again, I fail. The practicals, then I go to the wards and I'm fainting left, right, center. They give me a patient to take care of and I'm fainting all over the patient. Clearly, this is not where I need to be. Is that the end of my life? No. You can make a U-turn. You still have your secondary school leaving certificate. Perhaps you'd want to try taking a course in business. Okay. Perhaps that is where you'd want to, or perhaps you want to teach. Or perhaps you'd want to, maybe you are still interested in the medical field. You don't want to be in the hospital. You are interested in public health. Perhaps I can go there. There is no shame in making a U-turn. But I think more often than not, we feel as if we make a U-turn, people will think that we are failures and so there's nothing we can do. We stay in it. You know, so I really can't do this. Even though you pass all the exams, but you go to the ward, you are collapsing, but you are still there. You know, I have to stay there so that people will know that you haven't failed at it. It's just not something that you should do. Learn to make a U-turn. In the end, it is your life. It is not your father's life. It is not your mother's life. And if God, when you're going to live to be 70 years, you'll be in that field for over 40 years. You're going to live with it. So learn to make a U-turn. When I was in the university, I had to make a U-turn even in the course of subjects I took. My mates were laughing at me. Why are you taking this course? I was doing French. I decided to drop French because it was difficult for fancy. They laughed at me. I did. And I haven't regretted because I know the benefits that I've received from it. Wow. So don't be afraid to make a U-turn. So
there's no shame in making a U-turn. Thank you, Doctor. There's another one here from Anna, a NAAS member from UPSA. She says, hello, please, what if you want to continue your education in another country, but your family members keep on giving you pressure to get married and all that, especially as you are a female?
That is a big one. Yes, marriage. They'll tell you education will not pass away, but marriage will pass away. And I think for those parents listening to us, we need to be a little bit flexible when it comes to our female children. We need to give them the chance to be the best that they can be. Marriage is good and honorable, but it shouldn't come at the expense of your child's education. And so I would advise my friend to talk to some elders, to talk to her parents. Okay. perhaps she's finished her first degree, she wants to do a master's, and the parents are saying, no, get married first before you pursue your master's. That is negotiable. In that case, it's negotiable. Perhaps there's a young man who is ready to marry her, and the young man has no problem with her continuing her education. Okay, let's get married, then we continue. That is the agreement we make. But perhaps she just wants to go, you know, get the first degree, or she's even in level 200, and then it's about marriage. Before you realize, she would get married, have kids, and what will happen to her education? Right. So I think that if she's in that kind of soup, where she's in the middle of, you know, her education, and the parents are pressurizing her to, you know, go get married, then that she needs to bring in other people. Okay. But if she's finished the first degree, she wants to do the master's, and somebody is there ready, and she's also ready, there's no reason why she can't get married and continue with her education. Okay. Unless she doesn't want to get married, then she should not be forced to get married. Yes.
Right. Thank you, Doc. And what about parents who force their kids to do a particular course, and then the kids have no option because they can't afford to pay for their fees and others?
Yeah, that is also another big problem that we have. Some parents, you know, they try to live vicariously through their children. So when I was in school, I wanted to become a medical doctor, but I wasn't. So my daughter, you be a medical doctor. That one, the day you are born, is signed and sealed. I even have some in my family. But then the thing is that, is your daughter interested in doing medicine? You know, so you need to find out what is the interest of this child. And then the other thing too is that then I think as parents, you know, sometimes as we say, the child will come out with their own desires, but you can also direct the child in the direction that you want the child to go. Then right from infancy, you start giving the child stethoscope and things the child to play with. You know, every time the child becomes like, you are the doctor in the family, doctor. And then the child grows up and knows that, oh, doctor, I like it. But, you know, right from infancy, the child hasn't even got any idea of who a doctor is, what they do. He hasn't even played being a doctor before. He gets to JHS and it's like, you are going to be a doctor. You know, this child likes to sew. Says, I want to be a seamstress, you know. So I think that's a very tough challenge we have. But we need to talk to our parents, help them to understand, get some people to talk to them as well. We shouldn't be afraid to involve some elderly people in these things.
Thanks, Doctor. We have a contribution from one Gordon. He says, great presentation from Dr. Mrs. Ade Mununkum. Mediocrity is a disease affecting many young ones today. I pray we do learn from this. God bless you. Amen. And there's a question from Ellen Sapon. She says, what about those who are trying, seeking help and all, but are still failing?
Trying, seeking help, and are still failing. Okay, it's not detailed, so we don't know what kind of help they are seeking. Okay. Is it financial? Is it
I think this was in relation to a question someone sent earlier on the fact that what if you failed in one course and then you want to change to another course? And perhaps I think this person wants to add up that what if you keep failing and failing, seeking help, and still nothing seems to be working for you?
And in that case, since we don't have the exact details, you can say that this person is perhaps doing the same thing over and over again. You know, seeking help, perhaps, you know, with a certain career choice, and still nothing is happening, nothing is working out. You need a rather complete change, or you need counseling. Yes, I think we don't take advantage of our counseling services. You know, I know in our various schools we have counseling. Have you ever been?
No.
No, you see. Don't mind me, I never went to the counseling center. Okay. But we all need counseling. Yes, we all need counseling. And if you are in an institution where there's a counseling center, it helps so much. Just recently, I've been working with people who go there, and I've noticed that it helped. Perhaps if when we were in school, we had taken advantage of that, it would have been helpful. And some of our, you know, in our church, our elders, our pastors, are people who have trod certain paths before us. We can talk to them as well to help us. Don't be in your little corner as if the whole world is against you. You know, reach out, especially within the church. That is a thing people have with many NAAS members. You know, when we come back from school, we tend to stay in our little corners, in our little clusters. We don't want to mingle with the entire church. And the people don't really know what is happening with us. You might have issues. Be open, be free, get close to members in the church, get close to adults who can help you, and then There's nothing like you've tried, you failed. No, nobody is a failure. There is something that you haven't identified, which is your hole. You would need to find it, and counseling can help you find it.
Thank you, Doctor. So no one is a failure. You can all find yourselves in one way or the other. And so there's another one here. It says, good afternoon, I'm Prince Bastua. God bless our dear mom for such an encouraging presentation. Do we have a special department in our church that is focused on helping the young people to develop their talents?
We should have. The youth department is responsible for helping our young people. But now that I've gotten the opportunity, let me take advantage of this to reach out to our church leadership. We need to do more than we are doing for our young people. We need to take active interest in the youth, especially our youth in the tertiary institutions. I know that when it comes to those in the basic schools, the Adventist Society is very helpful in there, but when they go to the tertiary institutions, I think the youth department, our pastor in charge of the youth, we need to take serious care of our youth. Pay special attention. Don't leave them on their own. We shouldn't think that, oh, the NAAS members, they are good, they can take care of themselves. These are young people, young people leading other young people. They need guidance. We need to take special interest in them. So it's a youth department, my brother, but we need to remind them sometimes.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Doc. So this is from Auntie B. She says, I have more talent, so how do I find a direct one to aid me to be successful?
Yes, many of us are endowed with more than one talent. Which one wakes you up in the middle of the night and you want to sing about it? One of them is so dear to your heart. There's one of them that you don't, you don't strive so hard to achieve anything in it. It's something, there are some people who are, they are fashion designers, they'll tell you, I don't have to, nobody taught me how to sew, nobody taught me how to design anything. I just wake up and it's there, that talent is there and I can work on it, And the person takes a lot of pride and happiness in it. Pick one, that's one, the one that is dear to your heart. Develop that one.
Right,
yes.
Thank you. Develop the one that is dear to your heart. This is from Samuel from GNAAS KNUST. He says, it was wonderful to hear this lecture. Indeed, it was very encouraging. Since nowadays, the youth don't know what their target in future is. Doctor was saying we have to be positive always, but there are sometimes we need to be real. Not all things need positivity. My question is, aspiring to be the best, we are aspiring to be the best, but we are targeting to be the best and not getting the support from our parents. What should we do?
Yeah, that is, we always come back to the parents. We always come back to our parents. I think we need to have a heartfelt conversation with our parents.
Okay.
Sometimes, because they brought us up, they saw us when we were in diapers, they still see us as still babies. They want to control our lives, they want to tell us what to do as if we don't know anything. But I think as time goes on, we need to have that kind of relationship with them and talk to them, like man to man. And then also, you see, your parents will take you seriously when you do serious things. Yeah. It's like in the house, they see you taking responsibility for certain things, say, hey, my child is growing. And then when you sit down with them and you are talking, it's like, yeah, he's no longer a child, he's a man. But if you are still doing baby things in the house, and then, they will think you are still not, well, you're still not developed. As he's saying, you can't be positive about everything. Yes, sometimes the journey to reaching your potential is hard and it's torturous. But positivity is not always saying things are going to be good when you consider they are bad. It's having faith. Having faith that no matter how hard it is now, in the end, I know that it's going to be good. It's just like the Christian journey. Things are not going so well with many Christians, but they can have that faith that heaven is the reward. Heaven is the ultimate. So you need to be real, of course. If you know you have no head for mathematics, you can't even add 1 and 2 together. You can say, I'm going very positive, I'm going to be an accountant. Seriously, what kind of positivity is that? It's like faith without works. Right, so your faith must have works. So, yes, you must be positive about what you are doing, think you can do it, not have this attitude that I'm a failure, there's nothing I can do. That's what we're talking about. And then talk to your parents, have heart-to-heart talk, conversations with them about what it is that you want to do, what their expectations of you are. I think right from, you know, from the time you hit JHS, you start talking to your parents about what do you expect from me? What do you want, mommy, what do you want me to be in future? And then you start the conversation from there.
Right. Thank you, Doc. And this is from Patrick Asari-Jan, a student from UEW. He says, Doctor, can you please educate us a little on aspiring as a politician, as an Adventist, aspiring to be a politician as an Adventist? Unearthing our potential in the political arena has been subjected to accusation by most of our elders in the church. Please, Doc, do we have to listen to them always as we persevere in our professionalism as politicians, I mean?
This is you are taking me to an area I don't want to go into, but I'll try. I'll try. Because, you see, I think for many of our parents and elders in the church, when we look at the political arena in Ghana, we are not encouraged. We see it full of people insulting one another, people not respecting one another, corruption, etc. And we don't want to be tainted with that. And I think that is why, more often than not, we discourage the young men or the young women from engaging in politics. But then also, on the other hand, there's this idea that if we don't get in there, who will make the change? So some young men and women feel that we need to get there and be the change that the world needs. So I think that as adults, we need to, yes, let the young men know that this is the situation. This is why we don't want you to get in there. You know, don't get yourself involved in world politics, blah, blah, blah. But then on the other hand, too, we live in this world and we believe that we can make a change. So let them know and let's encourage them. Let's encourage them. If a young man feels that he wants to go out there, let's give them all the support and the prayers. Who knows, will make a change. You know, because if you just look at this issue we have now, the WASI exams. If we are up there, some of us are up there, do you think this would happen? It would not. But then when we stay away, some of these things, they affect us. So it's a two-edged sword. But once we are aware of what is involved, we can encourage and support them with our prayers.
All right. Thanks, Doc. There's another one here. The name is not here, but he says, great presentation by all standard. How can one sail above the storms when he can't see beyond the storm?
Faith. What is faith? What does Hebrew say about faith? You need faith. Sometimes it's hard. It's like being in an, when you're in a plane and then there's fog all around you, you can't see anything, you know. But then the planes, they fly through it. Because they have these navigation systems, you know. So as a Christian, we are talking as Seventh-day Adventist Christians, faith, excuse me, faith is what we need to see beyond the storm. Faith to see beyond, you know that this too shall pass. You will not be in this situation forever. You will sail above it. You'd overcome it. I mean, if you are having a hard time in school, financially, you are struggling, you know, you are counting down. 4 years will come, 3 years, it will end. You definitely get a job. So persevere. Perseverance is very important. So then you need to put on your Christian eyes of faith, and then you'll be able to see beyond the storm. All
right, thanks, Doc. So have faith and persevere, and you'll be able to see above the storms. This is from Mamori Abraham from GNAAS. He says, good afternoon, Doc. Please, how can imagination help me to increase my capacity? That's the question.
That's the question. How can imagination
help me to increase my capacity?
I talked about dreams, you know, having dreams. I said not the kind that you sleep and then you dream that you are climbing some hill, not that one. But the dreams that you dream when you are not asleep. That is using your imagination. Imagining yourself, this is where I want to be. So in 5 years' time, this is how I see myself. In 10 years' time, this is how I see myself. It's using your imagination. And once you use your imagination in that way, and you visualize where you expect to see yourself, it helps you to work towards achieving that vision. You see, and that helps in building your capacity in the sense that, okay, in 10 years' time, let's take, for example, I'm now a senior lecturer at the university. In 10 years' time, I intend to see myself as a full professor. So 10 years time, for professor, I know what I need to do, right?
Yeah.
So I need to work at it to achieve that. And it helps in building my capacity for things that I'll do to reach that. So you need to use your imagination a lot.
Thank you, Doc. And this is from S.A. Amfo from Nkoko. He says, my question is, can parents force their words in following their career even if they are not interested, but parents rather see it as a good career? I think the person is trying to, I don't know if
It's just like the other question that your parents, you know, for example, we are in Ghana looking at this situation we are in, and this young man says, Daddy, I want to be a rapper. You know, I want to be a rapper. I'll rap Christian. You know, you're a Christian, all right, but I'll rap, you know, I'll rap the Christian, you know, rapping the Bible, rapping. And your father is looking at you like this. Rapper, rapping. How are you going to get money? And even now, I hear that they don't sell CDs anymore. You have to have shows and whatnot. And you know what goes into all that, you know. And your father is thinking, my dear, I think it would be better if you go into teaching. You know, at least when you finish the training college, you or even the university, you'll be posted. And once you are posted, after 2 or 3 months, you get some money. And then you'll be on, you'll be able to make a living, you know. Or you say, I want to be a musician. And your father's like, how many musicians are rich? You know. And so parents do that. It's not that they hate us, that's why they are doing that. It's because they look at their own experiences and they think it will be better if you have a stable job. So it comes back to dialogue and it comes back to talking. And then also it comes back to you, the person, knowing yourself. Father, you go to this person or let the person come to talk to your father and see the prospects that are there for you.
Right. Thanks, Doc. This is from Lord Odru from UCC, the School of Choice. He says, good afternoon. Thank you very much for such an educative and insightful lesson. Unearthing Your Potential is all about consistency, adding simple daily disciplines that move you closer to your goals while removing the habits that move you away from them. Is it advisable to major in only one course when you are good at 2 or more courses?
It depends. You know, in Ghana, your education system is structured in a certain way that, for example, if you go to the university and in my department, for example, we have major students who major in English. They'll do other courses, but they will major in English. Okay. Others too would major in 2. So in that case, you don't have a choice. But after you've acquired the certificate, you can still do something with the other courses that you were interested in and see where they will take you. Also, So it's sometimes you don't have a choice. You have to do just this course. Afterwards, what do you do with the other courses? You can still develop them.
Thanks, Doc. This is a contribution from a Japan, an alumnus. He says, I have really loved this presentation. Very straight to the point and focused. God bless you, Dr. Mrs.
Thank you.
What we must understand in our career path is that you can't eat your cake and have it. Find out what you can do best and pursue it than pursuing interest and passion. Yes, I want to be a medical doctor, but is my mental capacity enough for this course? Ability will guide your decision. That's what he brought. And there's another one from Akwesi Sapon Kumankuma. He says, thank you, Mom, for such an enlightenment. May God bless you. My question is, I have a junior sibling who is multi-talented. She does whatever she wants to do perfectly. Please, in what ways can I help her stay focused and perfect in one area?
Okay, if the person is young, I think just allow the child to explore, you know, do whatever she wants to do, and she does them very well too. Yeah, so there's no need to force her to be focused at this time. Once she gets to the point where she needs to make a career choice, then she'll pick from all, you know, one of the many things that she can do very well. Yeah, we tend to restrict children very early, but let them explore. The best one will come out.
Right. Thanks, Doc. Mark Vince is saying, God bless you, Auntie Tess. A very great and inspiring presentation.
Thank you.
There's another one here. It says, thanks, Mom, for the wonderful presentation. Would you advise a youthful 7-day Adventist Christian to move on with politics as a career path? I think someone has already asked the question. But I don't know if you'd want to say something.
I think that's why.
Okay. And there's another one. It says people tend to call us overconfidence when we try to unleash our dreams, and this has damped many talents in us. How can we deal with that, please? Yes, from Ajani Watson, UCC, the School of Choice.
Just move on. Just move on. Just move on. You know what you are about, but your overconfidence should not also be like, your confidence should not be such that it's abrasive.
Okay.
You know, it's abrasive, you put people down. Some people's level of confidence is such that when they come around you, you feel weak, you feel worthless, you feel useless. It should be the kind of confidence that will build others up. It should build, so when they come close to you, they get the sense that I can also do it, I can also do it. So you need to look at how others react around you. Perhaps they think you are being too known, right? But your influence should be such that it brings them up as well. But don't let people dampen your confidence. Yeah.
Right. Thank you, Doc. So this is from me. How do I know that I have reached my potential? Are there any signs that would show that I have reached my potential?
When you can go no further. So in terms of, let's say, a career path, right? As I said, being a lecturer at the university, full professor is the height I have arrived. And you can even become an emeritus, right? Yes, then I know I have reached the highest potential that I can. And then I have reached it. Right. That is it. And then even in doing other things, ask yourself, so you are a nurse, what is the highest level you can reach, right? You have the passion, you sew. What's next? Is it just enough to have a little kiosk at Makola and be sewing carbon slate for people, or you have shows, you design for big companies? You're on the international level, right? So you aim high. Until as somebody will say, until the bones are rotten, then you aim high. Then you know you've reached the highest level that you can. And sometimes also, you yourself will feel that there's more room for improvement. There's more that I can do.
All right. So, Doc, last question then. Last but one question, then we end for this session. How do you draw the line between, even though you are aiming for the highest, how do you draw the line between being content and then being greedy?
Being contentment with godliness is a great gain. Yes, so if I'm greedy, I want everything. I want everything. If I'm content, contentment doesn't mean that I kill my potential and say, forever here my rest shall be. No, when you know you can go on. As long as you have a certificate, you haven't a diploma, you go for a degree and so on and so forth, right? And you still be content at whatever stage in life on that career path you are. Now, greedy, you want to do everything. You want everything, and you want more of everything. So, yes, I'm a teacher, I have a diploma, I'm working towards a degree. At the same time, I'm doing my CCA or ACCA, and then I'm writing some courses, some short courses in engineering, and then at the same time I'm doing some nursing, part-time nursing. You are spreading yourself thin because you want everything. How many hours in the day do you have to achieve all of this? You understand? So some people think that reaching their potential is doing everything, engaging in every, I can do a little bit of engineering. Some people are doing law, they are doing nursing. Yes, I'll go and do the physician assistant course. It's like everything. At the end of the day, you are not happy and you are tired. But if you focus on one, and remember what I said about being focused, in that case, you are not focused. It's like you are looking in many directions, as we say, you are looking in many directions at the same time, you wear yourself thin, you burn out. But if you are focused on, this is the goal I want to achieve, and you work gradually at it, you get there and you'll be content.
Thanks, Doc. So do you have any last words for us, for NAAS, for the youth? Any last words for us?
I think what I would like to leave my young people with is that we are very proud of you. We are very happy. I mean, when I look at the young people in the church now, I'm very happy at what we are achieving, but I would say the sky is the limit. Go higher. Don't be satisfied with mediocrity. Wherever you are is just one step. There's more to do. Go as high as you can, so that in the Seventh-day Adventist church, people will see that, yes, this is a church worthy of emulation. This is a church you want to be associated with. Then they will not say, oh, these are 7 days, as they call, some people call us, Seventh-day Adventists, Abantra. You know, what kind of church is this? No. But you see, oh, this is a church with professionals. This is a church with people who have achieved a lot in life. And then that will be us reaching out. We talk about reaching in to reach out. So we develop yourself, and you don't have to go anywhere and quote the Bible. Your life, your profession will be a magnet that will draw people to Christ.
Thanks a lot, Doc. God bless you for helping us as we journey to unearthing our potentials in our professionalism and in everything we do. And so for viewers who would have or who have extra questions or any question that they would want to ask or they would want doctor to address for them, you can still send your questions to the number 0559680066 and they will be duly addressed. And so this is where our session ends today. I believe we have all been blessed, and we are glad you were able to join us today. So once again, we had Dr. Mrs. Ade Mununkum with us here and speaking to us on the topic unearthing our potentials and professionalism. And I'm Lydia Kwe, your host. I would urge you to stay tuned for all the other sessions, and I promise that by God's grace, you'll be blessed at the end of every session. God bless you.
Hope Channel.